What's going on out there, everybody? Everybody out there in the world of the YouTube land. Coming on for my weekly Prince Talk. Today I'm going to be talking about insurance, life insurance, right? It's a hidden gem of the financial industry. The reason why I brought this topic up was I just did a show yesterday in Hawaii. My show I do out in Hawaii. What's up, Jay? Stay hip. What's up? Did my show out in Hawaii, and we was talking about insurance policies. You know, we're talking about different universal life, index universal life, and those things like that. And how sometimes when we in the investing world, we get caught up. You know, we thinking about the quick returns. We thinking about grinding and hustling and putting money back. But one of the simplest ways to create wealth creation is to life insurance, right? It's the number one way, and it's the simplest way to create generational wealth, and it's something that's often overlooked. Nobody ever thinks about insurance when they think about investing. In most cases, most people think about, hey, what's going on, Ty? You know, nobody thinks about insurance. Everybody think about, whoa, well, I'm going to save this much money, I'm going to invest this much money, and one catastrophic incident can happen, and through insurance you could, lose everything that you worked for. And it's the simplest way. When we look for saving for our kids, when we look putting something back for our kids, we don't think about insurance, right? We think, oh, my job got me. What if you lose that job, right? Or, well, I'm gonna get it later on. And insurance prices raise and become higher and higher. Because it's associated. Yeah, you're right. Jay, stay hip. It's associated with death, right? People say, hey, it's associated with death. Nobody wants to think about it. But it's a sad, ugly truth that in this game of life, you will not make it out of life alive. Yes, I just paid global life insurance for 1 year for my 2 kids. And that's what I'm talking about, right? It's something that people don't think about, right? People don't think about, like, this is a personal situation to me. What happened to me. I have a 1-year-old son named Wesley, right? Wesley, we tried to get him an insurance policy when he was about 4 or 5 years old, right? She said that's my small portion of my income tax went. Smart way to handle your income tax, very smart way. But what happened with my son? My son was diagnosed with autism when he was like 4 or 5 years old, right? And just due to that diagnosis, when we went to go get insurance when he was 5, we've had 2 life insurance companies deny him because of that diagnosis, right? Like she said, she just paid a total of $460. So had I gotten insurance when he was 1 year old, 2 years old, or 3 years old, before he got that diagnosis, he could have been inside of a great plan that I was looking at having for him. So, and that's one of the things I look at myself personally. We don't know what the heck we will develop in the future. Right now, I'm 33 years old. I got a pretty clean bill of health, but around about 40, I can have something's gonna take me out. Something's going to take you out, regardless. I don't care if you're a vegan and you work out 3 times a day, you drink water, you drink your smoothies, your green juice, or whatnot. Something will take you out, whether it is cancer, whether it is diabetes, whether it's high blood pressure, whether you get hit by a bus or train. We will not make it out of this game of life alive. And when we're thinking about our investments, nobody thinks about life insurance until they're critically ill or they're old. That's when life insurance is the most. That's when it's the most expensive. So when you're making your financial plan, when you're looking for your kids, you don't know. I mean, God forbid this, but you just never know what may happen to your kids, right? So your kids could run outside and be playing, fall down, say their chest is hurting, and find out they have a tumor on their heart, a hole in their heart, or they have whatever could happen, a tumor in their brain. And now once you get those diagnoses of having a tumor in your brain, a hole in your heart, or whatever the case may be, or you have cancer, now your premiums are going to go way up, so much more expensive, right? Because now when you're buying insurance, you're betting you're going to die, right? And your insurance company is, you're betting you're going to die. Your insurance company is betting you're going to live. Once you get those type of diagnoses on you, and they look at those type of diagnoses, they're going to look back and say, you know what? This person likelihood of dying who has prostate cancer, is greatly higher than someone who doesn't have it. So right now, while you have a clean bill of health, while your children have a clean bill of health, while you're young, add that to your financial future. We all know our kids will need some form of insurance, or they will purchase some form of insurance somewhere in their life, right? People say, hey, well, I'm in the military, or I have a job that's providing me with insurance. But what happens once you retire from the military, or now that you're out? What's going to happen to your job now that you're out, right? Once you lose that job, once one day you retire from that job, and now you're older. So think about adding that to your financial future. Or when you think about investing, when you're putting money into custodian accounts, when you're putting money into all these savings account, things like that, think about what are the things that kids will need for the future. That was something that I sit back and I'm like, man, had I covered my son earlier, he could have been inside of a great plan that I could have used as a possible investment vehicle. And also, something I used to think about insurance, a big myth. Okay, are the insurance companies reinvesting your payments for their own gains for 20, 30 years before we croak over? Of course. Of course, that's what insurance companies are doing. Right now, we all pay car insurance, renter's insurance, mortgage insurance. All these insurance companies do. When you look at Berkshire, when you look at Warren Buffett, they make majority of their money from insurance. They own Geico. When all of that money come in, or they call it float money, when all that money comes in, they're taking that money and they're going out and they're purchasing, they're buying Dairy Queen, they're buying skyscrapers, they're buying houses, they're buying land, they're reinvesting your money. So that's how can you go get insurance today for $120 a month, and they're going to tell you, hey, if you was to die, if you was to die, we're going to give your family $200,000. The only way they can do that is if they're investing your money. One, they're investing your money. Two, they know most people will outlive the insurance. Insurance companies only have to pay out historically to 1 or 2% of its clients. You guys hear me on that? Historically, insurance companies pay out to 1 or 2% of the clients. Prince, how does that happen? Because most people outlive their insurance. Two, most people let the insurance lapse. What I mean outlive the insurance. Today, I'm 33 years old. I go get a 30-year policy. When I'm 63 years old, my insurance has lapsed, right? Or I outlived my policy. The insurance, all those premiums they collected, they take the money and they go on, thanks for playing. But with a good insurance, not a good insurance, but, that's one way. The other way is people just don't pay the insurance. They let the insurance lapse. They cancel the insurance. They take the cash value out. They cancel it for whatever reason. So they know that 99% of people will never have to pay out. That's why insurance companies, that's why they run marketing. That's why they want to sell you the policy. Not because it's a bad thing. They know that most people are not going to have to pay out to. It's called underwriting. Underwriting is when they're looking at what type of people they will insure. They're only going to insure a bet that they think they have a high possibility of winning. They're only going to give a person a life insurance policy that they think they have a high possibility of winning. That's exactly what insurance companies do. They take your money. That's exactly what Berkshire does. It takes every month, everybody's paying Geico. What happened if nothing happens to your car? They're taking that money and they're going out and they're investing in other ways. And they know that 99% of the people they're not going to have to pay back. Right? 99% of the people they know they're not going to have to pay back. So, man, just due to the fact of most of us will drop our insurance, most of us will let our insurance lapse, most of us will outlive our insurance, most of us would do something that don't require a payout. So that's the thing that I want you guys to, if you guys come in, you like the content, hit the thumbs up button, all that other great stuff. Share it around to all your friends and whatever the case may be. What the people that are on here live. If you catch a replay, then you won't be able to do it. Okay, Miss T-Way says, my mom will fuss at me all the time when I was in my mid-20s, make sure I read this right, in my mid-20s and early 30s to go ahead and get life insurance. What made me really go ahead and get on board and take it seriously? What made me really go ahead? Yeah, that's true, right? Because when we're there, I appreciate that thumbs up there, Jay. What's going on, Richard? Yeah, because when you're there, when you're looking at the different policies out there, I always thought, oh man, insurance, that's for old people, right? And man, that's for old people. I'm not worried about that or whatever the kid. I get that later, I'm in the military. I'm covered, I'm fine. I got a great job. My job pays me a good life insurance policy or whatever the case may be. But let's think if you work at a job, you get a job at the age of 25. You work at this job for 20 years, right? You leave this job. Now that you left this job, you're not covered up under the group policy. Now you have to go out and maybe get your own insurance, right? Which one is insurance more expensive for? A 25-year-old or a 45-year-old, right? You know, we're not talking about stocks tax right now. We're talking about insurance. You know, drop that comment another time. I don't want to get off topic. I appreciate your work. My D's broke. I don't know what that means. I appreciate that, Kenneth. I appreciate that. But yeah, definitely. So when you look at it, you know, you talking about ESL jobs overseas. Oh, you're talking about going overseas, dear. Okay, my dear brother. Okay, what's going on, Kenneth? You're talking about working overseas, right, Richard? Getting a contract government job, working overseas. So, but those are things to think about. And then another thing I want to get into is that a lot of insurance policies have investment arms added to them as well. Now, I know a lot of people preach against having insurance policies that have investment arms, but I look at it this way. You have a whole life and you have a term. Terms usually go for 10, 20, 30 years, right? If a term goes for 10, 20, 30 years, after your 10, 20, 30 years, it's usually very cheap policy, but after your 10, 20, 30 years, you're no longer covered, right? Okay, so you're talking about getting a job overseas, and you was talking about the insurance policy that they have in them? I'm thinking about it. Oh, yes, Richard, that's tax-free money. Go over there, man, and make that money tax-free, and you can come back, and you can do so much investing while you're over there. That's tax-free money. Plus you get, you know, I'll take that job, you know, because I know a lot of people go over there and stack for a year, and they stack up money for a year tax-free. It's a great way for you to get ahead with investing, maybe pay off some debt, all that type of good stuff. I'll take it, man. Jay says 45-year-old is more likely to grow faster. Payments higher for you, sir. Yes, it is. Japan, take it, man. Why not? Take it. Use those jobs overseas, getting those contracting jobs overseas. I don't know if it's tax-free in Japan, but I know, you know, if you go to the Middle East, it's tax-free. But, you know, I lived in Japan for a little while. You know, take it. But yeah, you're 100% right. The 45-year-old person is going to have to pay more policy. So right now, while you're walking around with a good bill of health, you can walk and talk and log on to Facebook and YouTube and hang out, and you're thinking about investing, because that's why you tuned into this. You're thinking about investing. Look at your insurance policy. You know, do I go to the embassy to get my taxes done? No, let me look into that to see how they do that. I know a lot of people that worked overseas and they don't have to pay taxes. Usually it works out through your employer. Whoever brings you over there usually briefs you through that and tells you that your money's going to be tax-free. I did a lot of time in Iraq. Well, I did not a lot, but I did some time in Iraq. And when I was over in Iraq, I know a lot of civilian counterparts that were getting tax-free money. I was too, but my tax-free money, being active duty, was nothing compared to theirs. So, but yeah, that's the thing to think about. Right now, it's going to be cheap. Right now, you can take a lot of your investment money that you invest can go into a different account and contract the index, like Index Universal Life. I'm going to be uploading the show that I did in Hawaii here, not shortly, but probably the next day or two. And we're going to be talking about, I brought in Dr. Shirley, right? Dr. Shirley. She is a financial guru, Forbes contributor, and we talked about Index Universal Life policies, different life policies. So stay tuned for that. Using Roth IRA for college savings. I can't even say the name. I think somebody just typed it. Okay. Using a Roth IRA for college savings. Yes, that's good. If you use a Roth IRA for college savings, it's because the money gets to grow tax-free, right? That's a good thing because you paid the taxes before the money went in. Okay, Richard says, why does he need insurance? Richard, do you have kids? Do you have family? Okay. He said, I hope you talk about taxes for investors on day. I don't know what you wrote there, Jay. Richard says, I have medical VA medical because I'm a combat veteran. It's free for life. That's true. What about life insurance? What if you die? Who's going to bury you? Are you covered for that as well? My ex-wife killed my kids. They're in Whoa. Oh, that's crazy. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that. Kenneth said, do you offer any courses which teach individuals investing? I have a Facebook group, Pan African American Network. I share your videos with my members. Yes, I do have a workshop. It's like a 2-hour workshop on my website, theinvestorshowtv.com. I do offer a workshop. It's mostly geared towards kids and adults, teaching them about investing. And I think right now it's $49.99. So it's on my website. You can go in and click, download all the videos and all that stuff like that, where I talk about, it's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours long. I went to a studio, got it done in Hawaii. So, you know, put a good bit of money behind it. So, you know, all that good stuff. Yes, Richard, if you're going overseas, you're going to need a passport, my buddy. Thank you about opening a Roth IRA with TD Ameritrade to invest last year, $5,500. Is it okay? Now, that's pretty good what you did. He said he opened up a Roth IRA and he invested into VU ETF. VU ETF is a Vanguard S&P 500 expense ratio of 0.04. If you guys liking this content, hit the thumbs up button. He invested $5,500. $5,500 is like the max that you can invest into a Roth IRA if you qualify. If y'all are big ballers, you know, you may not qualify if you make too much money. So that's good. You put it into the ETF. That pays about a 1.7% dividend, and it tracks the stock market. So, and historically, you'll probably get a 7% return on that. But I want to tell you guys another trick. Okay, one day I hope you can give us investors tax advice. What I do for that? I'm not a CPA, right? I'm in school right now to be a CFP. I'm not a CPA, but I will bring on a CPA for you, right? I will bring on a CPA, an accountant, to talk about investing on tax, and I do have a show on that. I did a show on that too. Okay. Do I need a passport? Yes, you will need a passport, Richard. Or does my license count when I was in the Navy and I didn't need it? No, once you get out of the Navy, you're a big boy now. You're going to need the passport. So when you fly on the airplane, they're not going to be like, oh, you was in the military? Oh, you good? No, they're going to ask you for your passport. Then plus, when you get in another country, now that you're in Japan, and you go to fly back, they're going to ask you for your passport. So get a passport. It's only like $100. Question, my dividend income, is that taxable while overseas? Yeah, that's going to be taxable. That's probably going to be taxable overseas. I will definitely get a CPA to answer that question for you. But your dividend income, when they give you that 1099, 9 times out of 10, you know, here in the States, you're taxed. When you're overseas, I'm not 100% certain, but I have to ask and get that question back to you. I'm going to bring a CPA on for you guys. All right. To get a passport, you can get it expedited in like a week or two, like 2 weeks. But if you wait regular, it take like a month. Take down your birth certificate, driver's license. You got to go sign some stuff. They take a picture of you. I got two. I got an official and an unofficial passport. But yeah, and they're good for 10 years once you have it though. Where should I, okay, Problem Child, aka The True. Where should I start with? No advice. Just tips on where should I start with investing. Where should you start with investing? I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to put a little thing up about where you should start with investing. I kind of get that kind of often. If I was to start with investing, I would first look, if you have a job, if you got a 401k, look into your 401k. I'll look to invest $500, but I'm not sure where to start. Is that $500 a month, or is it a one-time $500? First problem child, ask yourself this question. 1, what are you short-term or long-term? I'm always going to ask the same question. Are you short-term or long-term? Short-term is anything under 12 months. Long-term is anything over 12 months. Once you figure out you short-term and long-term, what is your risk level? How risky do you want to be? High risk, low risk, moderate risk. Once you know, hey, I'm long-term, I want to be high risk. Now you got to decide how much money you have. You got $500. Now, once you know those 3 answers, now I can give better tips, quote unquote tips, not advice, but tips on different avenues you may want to look. Okay, he says he's moderate and he's short term. If you're moderate and you're short term, right? You're not high risk. You're moderate. You don't want to go crazy, and you're short term. I will look more into, if I only have $500, I would look more into my technology stocks at this point right now. When I'm looking to, I'm not going to say option trading because that's very high risk. I would say more of my tech stocks, something like that comes to head moderate short term. Maybe something like a Apple, something like well, Microsoft pays a nice dividend, but it's not going to grow that fast. If you want to be moderate and short term, I would look at something into technology companies. I'm trying to think of other companies right now. Y'all got me sidetracking, but something like an Apple. That's one that could come off my head right now. Well, I would say Apple. Apple is a large company. I know Apple is not about to go to zero tomorrow morning, and I know Apple is not about to go crazy high tomorrow morning either. So your money is not as risky because it's a blue chip stock. So that would turn down some of the risk. Anytime you invest, there's a risk. So I would turn down some of the risk. That's why I would recommend that one. Then on top of that, a technology stock, it has a higher opportunity to grow. Amazon is over $1,000 something. It's too high. Google is over $1,000 something. You can't get into that one. Or Tesla. I would look into a Tesla. A Tesla is another one. I would look into a Tesla or Apple, because these are companies that have the opportunity to grow and that are very aggressive, right? So to put and they have they're more long term too. So I'm looking to those. Okay. Do ESL jobs give free housing? Yes, they do. Well, they kind of incorporate it in your pay some type of way. But yeah, when I was in Iraq, they used to live in what you call it? These little cans, or they might pay you for it or something like that. How can I know how many shares? Okay. It says, okay, who is this right here? This is Real High. How can I know how many shares stocks company have on E-Trade? You want to know how many stocks a company has on E-Trade? You need to look at the, one second. One second, guys. Let me hook up my power cord. Outstanding shares. Look at outstanding shares. Outstanding shares will tell you how much stock a company has. I hope that helps you out. What is the best way to save actual invest for a house down payment? Currently maintaining only online savings account. Okay. You looking for a house payment? How long are you looking for that? You're saving up for your house. What is the time horizon? The time horizon is this, you're looking to buy this house in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Look at the time horizon. Now, once you know the time horizon, I know you don't want to be that risky with that money, because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to go out here and tell you, hey, go buy Bitcoin. If Bitcoin crashes right when you get ready to buy your house, that could be very risky for you. So that's the way to look at it for you. What is the best way to save for actual house? What's your time horizon there? I can't even see your name, Majedi. Okay, next question. Richard says, how do I buy stocks in the nickel stock market when I'm in Japan? I went to the stock exchange when I was in Japan. I'm going to put that picture up. I went to the Tokyo Stock Exchange. You can do that via E-Trade, via ADRs. Richard, look up ADRs. What does ADR stand for? American Depository something. But this is the way you can trade foreign stocks while on the U.S. stock market. Look into ADRs. Guys, hit the thumbs up button if you like it. Right? How do I buy? Okay, thank you. Do you have an email that I can reach you? Yes, hit me on my email, askprince, PRINCE, at royalfinancials.com. Askprince at royalfinancials.com. Okay, 1 to 2 years, save reasonably, but online savings account. If I had a 1 to 2 year, some ADRs do pay dividends, right? If I had 1 or 2 years to save, and I was looking for my house, I was very safe in my principal. I'm pretty sure you're very low risk, and I wanted to beat a savings account. You may want to look into CDs. Look into a 2-year CD. I will look into a 1 or 2 year CD, or I will possibly look into a bond. A bond or 1 or 2 year CD. Well, a bond is, you got the interest rate, so I wouldn't mess with that. If I want to be safe and get the max amount of my money, I would look into a CD. And I was looking to save for my house. I didn't want to put my money somewhere. I would look into a CD, because if I do a bond, you have to worry about interest rate. Unless it was short-term bonds, very short-term bonds. But for safekeeping, a savings account right now pays, the average savings account is like 0.06 or something like that. You can easily go get a 1 to 2 year CD. So if I buy 10% of outstanding shares, I own 10% of the company. Yes, if you can afford 10% of an outstanding share, that's what Warren Buffett does, right? Richard, we spoke about that. Okay. How do I minimize risk when trading straddle options? How would you straddle on the VIX ETF? That's a little tough one. When you're straddling, you are minimizing your risk, right? When you straddle, for people out there who don't know what we're talking about, that's when you buy a call and a put. Are you familiar with that? You buy a call and a put, right? And since you're doing on a VIX ATF, which is VIX, that is volatility. So you are predicting that a lot of volatility will come into the marketplace. So you need a big move. When you straddle, you need a big move in one direction, right? And it depends on the expiration date. What is your expiration date of that straddle? What is the, because you're supposed to buy a call and you're supposed to buy a put. They have the same exact expiration date, right? A call and a put on the same exact expiration date. So when you're doing a call and a put on the same exact expiration date, you have to be wary of what is the expiration date? When are you expecting the VIX, which is volatility, to be a big mover? As of lately, yes, VIX has been a big movement. We had $5,000 with a 500-point drop in the Dow Jones. 5,000 would have been a big problem. But we had a $500-point drop in the Dow. Then it kind of went down another bit. So volatility has gone up in the market recently. But now that you're buying this expiration date, when do you expect it to do it? It's kind of hard to minimize that risk. It's kind of hard. You're almost gambling in a way. But a straddle is a good way to where the only way your straddle is going to get hurt is if the market, you're betting on volatility. If the market consolidates, meaning moves side to side, if it consolidates, that's going to hurt your pockets, right? So that's the way to think about it. That's what I think about. What you guys think about it? So now, if the volatility goes up in the marketplace, then that means your call side is going to become more valuable, but your put side is going to lose. So usually for that, you need a big jump. What's 5 to 24? Richard says, what's 5 to 24 trading on TD Ameritrade? What do you mean 5 to 24 trading on TD Ameritrade? What's a CD? My parents did that. Okay. A CD, I didn't even see you guys' comments there for a second. A CD is a certificate of deposit. Your parents did that because it probably was worth something back in the day. Nowadays, they're not worth too much. The interest rate used to be very high. Well, not very high, but you could get 2 to 3% off a CD back in the day. Nowadays, CD pays 1%, 2%. It's pretty crappy because we live in a very low interest rate society. Okay. That's the CD. He says, thank you. The new ad they have. The new ad, okay. 5 to 24 trading on TD Ameritrade. I have to see that. I have to see that new ad that they have, and I'll definitely get back with you. 5 to 24 trading. It probably have to do something with, if you do so many trades, you can get a free ad, maybe some free trades or something like that. But glad I asked some of you guys questions, but don't forget about life insurance. The thing about life insurance, some life insurance policies have investment vehicles with them as well. Whereas in something about trading 24 hours a day. Oh, okay. You might be talking about the futures market. They do have futures on E-Trade I saw. I think they got on TD Ameritrade too. That's a 24-hour market. So I'll look into that. I'll definitely let you guys know. But don't forget about life insurance. Life insurance policies you have out there where you can pay some money towards your, not all life insurances are bad. You can pay some money to your life insurance and you can have some of your money invested. So they can be an investment vehicle. Now, I'm not going out here saying go get life insurance so you can invest. Not that. But and life insurance can be an investment vehicle. Exactly. Problem child. You got life insurance through your job. What if you lost your job? Along with the 401k. That's great. Because you can roll a 401k over. But life insurance, I don't know if it rolls over. Look into that. Real says, thanks, Prince. I have another question. Which penny stocks are good to buy? Okay. Well, Richard, your military service covers your funeral costs. That's good since you don't have any kids. And if you're fine with, not leaving anything behind, you don't need it. But I'm going to talk about how, well, if you're not really concerned with life insurance, then your funeral costs are covered by the military. You don't have any kids. You want to leave anything for anybody, no nieces and nephews, then maybe life insurance is not for you, right? Everybody don't need it. I'm not going to recommend something for everybody. Everything is not for everybody. If a financial advisor recommends one thing for everybody, that's a bad financial advisor, right? Thanks for having penny stocks to buy right now. Penny stocks to buy. You know what? I haven't been on the penny stock market right now, but I think something that may be explosive here soon due to regulation. Maybe some of your marijuana companies. But there's so many of them out there, I don't know who is who, right? He said, what's a 401k? My master chief in the Navy told me to avoid it. Richard, that was called a TSP. Remember the TSP when you was in the military? That's what it was called. Problem child, I will have to look into the insurance rolling over because I do not plan on staying at the job. Yeah, if you don't plan on staying at the job, look into your life insurance because every day that you're at this job, you're getting, that could be one, what's that? Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a huge one. If they're penny stock in artificial intelligence, I will probably look into that one. Artificial intelligence is a big one. If you don't plan on staying there every day, you're getting older, right? Today I'm 33. Let's say if I stayed on my job for another 10 years and I left, my insurance policy now at 43 is going to be higher. So if you don't plan on staying on that job, what I did was I started looking at, while in the military, I started looking at outside places, right? Started looking at outside insurance companies to cover me while I was young. Because so when I got out of the military, got done with your job or whatever you're doing for a living, you don't have to, not that you don't have to, but you get locked in at a lower rate, right? So yeah, I did see that, Richard. Those robots that build homes, that's crazy. It was building houses in like record time. But yeah, if you have a job and you have insurance through your job, take a look at it. Understand what it is, right? Look at, hey, what if I left this job? Do my insurance policy go away? 14 cents a share right now. Okay. Does my insurance policy go away? Think about that, right? So think about think about that in a way. But I'm going to be uploading the episode here shortly, probably tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to be talking to Dr. Shirley. She came onto my show in Hawaii, and we talked about index universal life policies and how insurance are used as a vehicle, right? 1,000 bricks per hour. That's crazy. So that's the way to look at it. That's the way I want to look at it as well. So yeah, what y'all think about my shirt? And that's the show. Y'all can see it. I don't know if y'all can see it. Same as the logo behind me. But yeah, this is sure I did the show in too. So when y'all see me uploading the show, don't think about it. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I see Richard. He's talking about those robots that can build houses, right? Those robots that can build houses. Those could be another thing. Artificial intelligence is something I think that's coming along big too. So that's something you guys want to look at as well. He says, "Dope shirt." appreciate it. But yeah, definitely looking at it or whatnot. Appreciate it. You seem like y'all kind of like the shirt. Had to give a shout out to my buddy who created it. So. But yeah, nice shirt. You give any away? You know what? I haven't given any shirts away at the time. Maybe I might do that in the future. Y'all gotta stay tuned for that. Okay, so on a scale from 1 to 10, how gay are you? Somebody just came in here and asked some, a troll on a scale from 1 to 10. How gay are you? 12. Hey, That's his thing. Some dude just came out of the blue and just wrote something crazy. Maybe he didn't like the shirt. Maybe he didn't like the shirt. Well, I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Just come out of the blue and ask a question like that. So, anyway, so he said he loved the shirt. Okay. He said, look at his name. Yeah, that's true, right? I don't know. Mike Hogarth, whatever. I think it's funny. I've been on the internet for a long time. I've been doing the investor show now this is year number 5. So I've seen, and this is just YouTube. I do Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, television, radio. I've read and heard, traveled the globe. I read and heard some of the craziest things. So it ain't too much somebody can say to get up under my skin. I don't heard racial slurs. I don't heard, you name it. Oh, this. He said, you're OG on YouTube? I guess you get respect for that. I don't know. I started 2013. I uploaded my first video. And did not think I would be on YouTube this long, but I just kept making videos every now and then. But, not only I did YouTube, I do Facebook. The Investor Show is on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on all type of places. I just kept putting up videos over and over the years. And, this platform slowly grew. Talking about today, the Investor Show is at 17,000 on YouTube, 11,000 something on Instagram, 100 and something on Facebook. So it's grown. I asked you if you were, this fool asked me if I'm gay, I want to commit to a relationship with you. No, I'm not gay. I'm actually married. No, I'm not, it's not a date site, No, I don't. I don't date men. I'm sorry, I'm not gay. So I'm married now. Been married now for coming up on a year. It'll be 9 years in September. He said, well, you can be married and you can be married and gay, but that's not my thing. Never was into other men. Not knocking nobody that else is, but that's just not my thing. I'm married and I have a 6-year-old. He'll be 7 next month. Is there any way to get in contact with you? I really want to learn about investing. Yes, my email ask Prince PRINCE at royalfinancials.com. It should be in one of these descriptions. It should come up in the description box. Ask Prince at royalfinancials.com. That's my email address. Okay, T-Shay say, what do you think about the ETF SPYD? It falls S&P 500. I just brought it in a couple of days ago for $35. Yes, that's the SPY. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. This dude is crazy. He says, I'm going to get you a question here to say, well, that's a bummer. I'm going to subscribe to you, though. You seem like a good person. The only thing I don't like about you is your red hair. I don't have no red hair. I don't know if the looks like that on camera, but no, man, my hair is black. So, anyway. Yes, the SPYD. That's supposed to be like the most dividend-paying stocks in the S&P 500, right? SPYD is an ETF that tracks the S&P 500, but it picks the best dividends-paying stocks. You know what I mean? So, that was weird. That's my first time being asked out by a guy on YouTube. That was kind of crazy. But anyway, SPYD is supposed to be a dividend, right? The thing about that is, what is S&P 500? SP is S&P 500. SPYD is the symbol, and I think that's the one that tracks the S&P 500, but it gets the most dividend-paying stocks, right? So you get the most dividend-paying stocks in the S&P 500, and that's the way you. I don't like that one. To be 100, let me see. It's paying 0.39 a share right now. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, TY, I think that's the one. That's supposed to be the one that's supposed to be tracking the S&P 500. It takes like the best dividend paying one. But when you look at that one, why would you want to get into that ETF when I remember looking at that one significantly underperformed the S&P 500, right? It significantly underperformed the S&P 500. Thing we got to remember about dividend paying stocks. Usually, the higher the company pays in dividends, the lower that they grow. They don't really grow up that fast. They usually are because they're paying so much money. They're paying millions out to investors. So instead of that money going back into the company to grow the price, they're paying millions to investors. But so when I look at the SPYD and I overlay it with the S&P 500, it underperforms the S&P 500. Unless you're a dividend income investor, I really didn't like the SPYD. You have another one called SPYG, which picks the best growth companies inside of the S&P 500. And when I looked at that one historically over time, it was underperforming as well. Maybe I should try Spider. The thing about Spider, TY30, look at the expense ratio. Spider expense ratio. Look at the expense ratio. Spider is the one that tracks the S&P 500. If you're tracking the S&P 500, you look at VOO, VOOO, look at Spider. Don't forget about the expense ratio. They are doing the exact same thing, but one is charging you more. Oh, my hair is looking red? Hold on, let me change this. Let me change this. Y'all say my hair looking red. What about now? My hair, so y'all can see my hair is not red. I cut it though. I cut it a couple days ago. This is on good now? Okay, cool. I'm good now. So yeah, maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was this filter I had on here that was making me look kind of crazy. But you remember I had a little high top there for a little minute. I kind of cut it off. I got tired of trying to comb that thing or whatnot. So I wanted to be a little bit more presentable. So, but you know what? Let me sidetrack a little bit. So this is the time I talk to everybody out there. Did get some good news from Gateway High School here in Denver, Colorado. What they're going to do is in the school. I think it's late April. Instead of the kids going to math class, they're going to bring them to the auditorium to get financial literacy training. And what we're looking at doing is bringing in Bank of America, myself, my nonprofit foundation called the Global Children's Financial Literacy Foundation. And we're also going to bring in, a couple NFL, maybe about one NFL athlete to come in and talk about financial literacy. So I'm very happy about that. So that's what's been going on lately. But that's the thing I hate about business. Business, people tell you stuff, they promise you, they write it down, and then they break their promise. So that's why I don't like talking in the public about what's coming on, because you just never know with people. You just never know, because people change their mind. People will say, oh yeah, you're good to go, we're going to do this, boom, boom, boom. They're a couple weeks before, they could just, Bank of America could pull out, the school could pull out, NFL athlete could pull out, another speaker can pull out, now what? Right? So, yeah, Amazon does not pay dividends. All right, let's read here. Maybe I should try Spider. Richard, if you're their person. Oh my God, now you guys are beefing in the chat room. Oh my God, Prince, your hair does look red. You're good now. Amazon has jumped up like 1,500 since I looked at it like a few weeks ago. Wow. Yeah, Amazon is growing. It doesn't pay dividends, but it grows. With that one, the homework advice, not as of yet, but yeah, I'm definitely going to propose that to him, Richard, talking about making it part of homework. They want to sit down and add it to the curriculum. So as we add it to the curriculum, I definitely want to add in homework pieces too. Teach. Exactly. Financial literacy, right? When I go into the school, I'm not going to be talking about budgeting, right? Which is a great thing. I want to talk to kids, open their brains up to investing. That's my big thing. He said I had to block Richard. But I had to do that with, maybe I am lagging. And I'm going back reading some of you guys' comments. So, yes, I think kids should be taught about investing. I don't think you should be 30, 40 years old trying to figure out, oh, what is the index and what is a stock, what is a dividend, what is forex, what are futures, what are different types of life insurance policies, what is a CDE, what is a bond, what is a corporate bond, what is day trading, what is cryptocurrencies. All those things should be exposed to you as a child. Doesn't matter what form of profession you go into, you will need that type of knowledge. So that's one of the things that I look forward to teaching at schools and things like that. So uh, yes, because I'm very late bloomer in this. Yes, I am too. I was 28 years old with an MBA, figuring out about investing. And then when I started to figure out about investing, I'm like, man, why nobody told me this? Why do I have to do so much, outside research to try to figure out what's this? Kids have credit cards, don't even know what interest rates are. Don't even know what interest means. Yeah, I want to do it for my son and family. Yeah, if you haven't, if you guys haven't, I don't have any books on me right now, but check out my book series, my children's book series, Wesley Learns to Invest and Wesley Learns About Credit. And a good thing is they added the book to the library at Gateway High School. Wesley is my 6-year-old son, and we wrote those books 3 years ago. My first book came out 3 years ago. So definitely, and it was a book teaching me teaching him how to invest. Done, very well. First investment book for children. Won, I don't know how many. Won about 3 awards. All that great stuff. So definitely check it out. Then my second book was Wesley Learns About Credit. Me teaching him about credit. Kids getting introduced to the world of credit at a young age. So look into those things. So yeah, definitely check out the books or whatnot. But anyway, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get running. I gotta head down to the studio. If you guys are, yeah, do it for your children. Do it for your son. Start teaching your kids now. Subscribe to channels like this. Subscribe to Facebook pages and things like that or whatnot. So yeah, definitely appreciate you guys coming on. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. Definitely appreciate you guys for everything that you do. And I'm out here to try to make a change. That okay, have a great day, and thanks for the show. Thank you. Definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in to the show. I gotta get out of here and get my day started. I gave you guys about an hour, so I'll be in contact with you. Appreciate what you do. Appreciate it. I'm going to teach my daughters. Definitely do it. Do you use my homework question? Yes, Richard. Goodness gracious, what? Boy, Richard be going crazy. But I'm sorry to hear about that. If that's true, that your wife killed your kids and she's in prison. That's a crazy life. Crazy life. But y'all guys be safe out there. You guys take care of each other. Until the next video podcast, whatever you see me do crazy around this globe, don't forget to share this too. Peace, be safe, I'm out. Thanks.